This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. So we were discussing about incremental loading yesterday, right? So incremental loading is very important concept that you can implement in your data warehousing. To implement incremental loading, or called as a delta loading, or people will be saying partial loading, right? So we have a couple of options and couple of solutions are available. Not only these 4 5 solutions, there are a lot of solutions which are available. Okay. So one of the best solution is a lookup, SCD, merge statement from the SQL server, customize the SQL code or stored procedure, or customize the SSIS code also you can write. You can also use set operator, except, intersect, union all, and you can also use one more concept called CDC, change data capture. So that is also available. So you can implement a lot of options. Okay. So you have CDC is also available. It is called as a change data capture. Okay. Change data capture can be implemented. This is also can be used to perform the incremental loading. Am I clear? So you have thousands of options, but we have uh, understood yesterday the lookup transformation and how to use lookup to perform the incremental loading, right? So let us perform the demo today. Let me have OLEDB source and I will implement the incremental loading for these tables. Let me go and create a database. If the database exists, so I'm saying drop the database. I'm going to be creating a new database called company new. Before creating it, I'm simply dropping this. So when you execute like this, it's going to be dropped and created. So I'm going to be creating a new database, refresh it. You can get a new database and no tables are available in this. Okay. Oh, I think I have created them yesterday already. Let me delete this. It is now hanging. Please wait. Something has happened. SQL Server 2019 has many issues. These guys are releasing the versions every year. So when you release versions every year, you don't have the time to test it. So that is the issue for the Microsoft now, right? So a lot of issues. Suddenly it is not working. Sometimes it is hanging, right? So let me go back and let me create this. I'm going to be creating a table. Before that, I'm going to be creating a database. Now, let me show you the database which I'm going to be using. A company new. I have created a table called this employee ID, primary key, name, salary, and I'm going to be inserting 3 rows into this. Now, let me execute this. Okay. So I have 3 rows in this. Now let us create one more destination table. This will be our data warehousing table. Okay. Data warehousing, or you can say destination table. You may create in the same server, different server, wherever you want to create. It may be in Oracle, SQL server, wherever you want to create, you can create, no issue. But I would like to use the same database called company new. I'm going to be creating a blank table. So these are the two tables we have. So this is what is called source. So this is what is called destination. Clear? So we have two tables. In the first table, you have the data. Second table, you don't have any data. Now, what I wanted to do, I would like to create one SSIS package, perform the incremental loading between these two tables. Now go and open this. Okay, so let me simply go and create a new package. Now you say demo number 16, say incremental loading underscore lookup. Okay, demo 16 incremental loading underscore lookup. Let me simply go. I think I have created something. So this is some other thing, I think. Some loading Excel data, I think I have done. So let me create one more package. So rename this. So demo number 17. So let us say incremental loading underscore lookup. So drag and drop data flow task. Double click on this. Now drag and drop. I have the source as OLEDB source. You can have flat file as well, Excel as well. And all the data can be dumped onto the staging from the flat file, then perform the incremental loading. Now delete, create new connection, go to the server name is dot, or you can give your IP address. The database which I'm going to be using company new, test connection succeeded. Now okay. Okay. Now the table I'm going to be using here, you can also write your queries. Select star from the table name, or you can use the table name as it is. If you wanted to filter something, some data, you can say select star from the employee table where employee ID is greater than 10,000, between 10,000, 20,000. You can write your queries as well. Yeah, you can also execute the stored procs. If you have a procs, that can also be executed. Table view, I can simply go and try to get source. Now all the columns, if you wanted to take it, you can take it. If you wanted to filter, you can just remove the column like this. I would like to have all the columns. Now error output also can be configured if you wanted to configure something here, otherwise leave it. So preview data, this is my data. Click on OK. Now I have configured, you can rename. This is what is called the connection renaming. So give meaningful names. Source, you can say employee table. Okay, give meaningful connections always. So now I wanted to perform incremental loading. The first one is called, we should be able to use, let me, we have incremental loading sheet I had, right? This was the thing. So first we need to implement OLEDB source that we have done, then take the lookup transformation. So go and the drag and drop lookup transformation. Go to common, take this and put like this. Double click on this. Now you have to change this because if you have unmatched data, don't fail this. If you have unmatched data, I would like to redirect those rows to no match output. Okay, so this you need to change. Go to connection and the same connection, source connection, I'm going to be using as a destination. So now you go. I wanted to take the destination table, this table. I'm going to be using this table as a reference table. That's what I told you, right? This table I'm going to be using for this lookup. So remember that the destination table will be used as a reference table here. And for the OLEDB destination also, I will be using this. The destination will be the dim employee table and the reference table is also this one only. Clear? So that is what I'm going to be doing now. Let me go back and this is what I have done. Go to columns. If employee ID and employee ID is matching, if the matching data, if I have it, so I don't need the matching data. I wanted to get the unmatched data or no match data. So you go get the no match data, give it to the destination. What is the destination table? Already I have created. I should not click on new button again. Because table is there. Why you want to click on new button? Simply go to mappings. So complete no match data I am going to be giving. So this is the data it is going to be coming here. I don't have any data in this. Clear? So this is what I have done. What people are going to be doing, I'll tell you. So you need to do it here, and the connection, you choose the destination, the data warehousing table, and the columns, you need to choose the employee ID. Don't check any column. If you check, then you're gone. I don't need any data from the destination table. This is the destination table. This is a source table. Many people will, try to click this or try to click this. If you click, you're gone. Your demo is gone. Never, never do anything. Simply take this employee ID, drag and drop and leave it. Don't leave it here. You go inside, go inside, go inside and leave it here so that you will be able to establish a link. Clear? And if you're not able to establish a link, and at least you right click on this, say edit mappings, you choose like this employee ID, you choose like this employee ID, you can choose like this. Clear? So the link is made. Don't check anything, I'm telling you. And advanced output, nothing is needed. Simply click on OK. Now I am not doing for updates, only I'm doing for inserts. Now you say right click, say add annotation, you say only for insert data, it's going to be coming here. Now you save, right click on this, say close all but this, other packages will get closed. Save the project and save the package. This is the entire project will get saved. This is your package will get saved. Click on start button. So make sure that you don't have any data in the destination table. This is my destination table. I don't have any data. Now try to execute it. Clear? Now you go, try to perform incremental loading with the help of a lookup. No match data. 3 rows you have, 3 rows came in. You stop debugging it. You execute both of them. 3 rows came in. So I wanted to insert 2 more rows into the source system. Inserted. Now you see, you should be able to find out 5 rows in the source, 3 rows in the destination. So what I have to do it? So I have to perform incremental loading. So I have already done it. Simply you go and try to execute it. 5 rows it is reading, but 2 rows only going to the destination. Now you go and try to execute this. Now you should be able to see 5 rows in both places. Clear? But it is for only insert we are doing it, but you need to do it for update as well. For update, what I'm telling you? I'm telling you, matched data you have to be giving to the OLEDB command to update it. So what I do, I go to common transformations, go to OLEDB command, which is there SQL commands. You take match data and you simply go, you try to write an update command. So when you double click on this, where you wanted to write the connection. So source, destination, everything is one only now. I'm using that. Go to component properties, you write SQL command. So what is that I would like to update, that you need to write it here. So I would like to update this table. So you have to say update this table with the matched data set. What are the columns I have to update? All the columns, right? So you need to update. So name column is equivalent to question mark. You need to write like this. So salary is equivalent to question mark, where employee ID is equivalent to question mark. So I told you all the matched data is going to come row by row. So this is the 0th column, right? I've told you this is question mark is called as a 0 indexing number question mark, first indexing number question mark. This is the second indexing number question mark. Clear? So this command I have to go and I would like to give this update dim employee blah blah blah. So what I told you, you're going to be getting row by row. You have to map. So parameters we have 0, 1, 2. What is a parameter? Parameter means this is a parameter. So you will be able to get row by row, row by row. One row you're going to be getting name is the name. So you go there. The parameter 0. 0 means you know already. What is 0? 0 is name. So you have to specify here name. So parameter 1. What is 1 here? 1 is salary. Salary you need to specify. And what is parameter 2? 2 is employee ID. The employee ID you need to specify. Parameter 2 and 1. It is done. Clear? So all the no match data is going to be inserting and match data will get updated. Add annotation. This side I'm going to be writing updates. Right. So my package is ready within fraction of seconds. Now I go simply update some values and insert some rows also. I wanted to insert, let us say Bhavya, one row I'm inserting. Now let me also see one row got inserted. Let me update some values for employee number 1, John. Salary, let us have 1890. That is employee number 1 salary. I am updating. Plus, I wanted to update one more row. Salman, he is the name also I wanted to update. So Salman is number 2. His name is Salman Khan. Okay, it is Salman. I would like to update his name as well. So if you see carefully, I have updated 2 columns and 2 rows. In the first one, I have updated the salary. In the second one, I have updated this one. You should not update the employee ID. Primary key should not get updated. If any application is updating the primary keys means that application will not going to work. So you take any application, primary key values, the key columns should not get updated to perform the incremental loading. That is the one thing. The second one is source table must have a key column, either a primary key or a primary key, or you can have a business key, or you can have any other key. At least key column has to be there. That means in one column the data should be unique data. You can take any one of the column, any one of the column you can take. Okay, so the people are going to be using that column as a unique key or the business key or the primary key. Okay, so you can use any one of the column as that. Am I clear, guys? So you need to understand, if you don't have a primary key or a unique key or a key column in your source table, not in the destination, try to understand. I'm clearly telling in the source table. If you don't have a primary key in the source table, you are not going to be, you cannot perform incremental loading with any one of these. So nothing is going to work out. So we had given different options, right? Lookup, SCD, merge, set operators, blah, blah, blah. So nothing is going to work it out. So try to understand. It's very, very important that source table must have a primary key. Destination table, whether you have, don't have, doesn't matter. But definitely, if the source table is having a primary key, destination also can have a primary key. But in some cases, in the data warehouse, we don't create a primary keys on that columns. We will simply create a primary keys in the source, but in the destinations, sometimes we don't create a primary keys here. We say simply a not null. That's it. Okay. So where exactly we're going to be using this, we'll discuss very soon. Am I clear? But primary key, yes, you should have a primary key in the source. You should have a primary key compulsorily. Now I have done. Let me go and try to start. Clear? So I have one row got inserted. 5 rows are getting updated, but unfortunately, I have updated in 2 rows. But all the data, it is being updated. Let me go back and verify. So I have John salary 1890. I have Salman Khan salary is 2005, and Salman Khan is become this. But I have updated only this guy and this guy. But remaining these guys also getting updated. Even though I don't update anything now, I try to click on start button. It is same data is being updated again. Six rows are matching data. All of the data is being updated. So it is not able to identify which rows are actually got updated or inserted. For example, the same data is gone here, and tomorrow if I see matching data, the same data, matching data means 1 and 1 is matching, 2 and 2 is matching, the same data is going to come here, and row by row it is going to be coming here. It is updating unnecessarily, even though there is no changes. Even though there is no changes, matching data 100% it is going to come here. All the data will get updated. So there is a minus point in this. So what I should do, I need to identify which is the row which is got modified. So to do that, what I'm trying to do, let us do one thing. I have updated, let us say, this row. So this salary is 2,100. Now there is an updation happened to this. But in the matching data, both of them will going to come, because 1 and 1 is matching, 2 and 2 is matching. So in this, you're going to be getting 2 rows as it is. Now here what I'm trying to do, I am trying to use one more lookup in between. Okay. So I'm trying to use one more lookup in between, and all matching data will come to this lookup. Here what I'm trying to do, I am trying to compare all the columns. So here I'm comparing only one column, right? Here I'm comparing complete columns. This columns and this columns completely matching. So I'm writing employee ID equals to employee ID. Name is equivalent to, if you have 1,000 columns, you need to map everything. Name equals to name. Salary is equals to salary. So I got these 2 rows. Next, what I'm doing, all the row, the complete row and row, I'm going to be matching. 1 and 1 is matching. John and John is matching. 100 and 1900 is not matching. Clear? So after putting all the data here, what I'm trying to do. So if it is matched completely, I don't need it. From here, I wanted to take the no match data. Remember this point. So match data means, why should I take it? Say 2 Raj 400, 2 Raj 400. If it is everything is matching, why should I take this row? I wanted to take only from these 2 rows completely matching. If something is not matching, take that row. And this row only I am giving it to this guy. So for the matching, you get thousands of rows here, but all the data when you compare 1 John to 1,000 is unmatched data. So that data I wanted to bring it down. Clear? So by applying one more lookup, by comparing all the data, if it is 100% matching, why do I take this and update? Unnecessary. If it is not matching, 1 John 2 1, it is not matching. So only this row is going to come here. I'm going to be updating. So what I'm trying to do, I remove this. So lookup match data we're going to be giving, right? So I'm going to be taking one more OLEDB, or you can simply one more lookup, or simply copy this lookup, and you can paste it. Already we have configured this. Now you take this lookup and you take complete matched data and give it to this fellow. Okay. Now in the lookup one, what we are going to be doing, connection is same, but all columns you have to map it, not only one column. All columns you need to map it, only this extra. So same lookup you're going to be doing here, but all columns you're going to be mapping it. Okay. So redirect, connections, fine, dim employee table, connections, all columns we have to map it. If it is completely matching, don't take it. No match, you take it now. No match data, you need to take it. Already we have written OLEDB command that you can use it. Now you see what is going to be happening. So this is for the update, right?
A
Now
quick
you
question,
save
sir.
and run the package. Please, please, please.
We have already matched a look in lookup, first lookup EID, right? Why are we matching this again in lookup one?
So yeah, here I wanted to find out in which are the rows the data got updated. So if you don't look up this, if you don't use lookup, what happens? All the data will
No, I
will
got
get
that.
directly to this. Hmm, hmm. I wanted to
But we can match
identify
only
whether the
name and salary, right? Because EID is already matched, so only it's coming here. So we can match only name and salary. So why are we matching EID again?
now how do you match? For example, I wanted to map, this data, John and 2100. I would like to check and go here, right? But John of which John? One John, you may be having one more John here, right? You may be having number three. You may be having a John of 3, 4 of 100. Then what do you that you match? You
Okay, got
take
it,
this
got
John
it.
and map with this John or this John, right? Because always this is a unique number. This is not the unique, right? So definitely you have to map with this. Otherwise, it is very confusing, right? Because this data may be duplicated data. So you may have one more three here. Then that is the issue. You have a John of 3,400. So this guy would have gone there, right? If you're not taking this and mapping, so definitely you'll get confused, right? So this data, if you're taking only this data and comparing, then problem. So you need to take always the primary key. That is the reason why you need to have the primary key in the source tables. Clear? So first is this. The second one lookup is you need to take complete data and including the primary key. Remember, including the primary key, you have to map all these things there. That's it, nothing else. Clear? Now fine. Let us have a start. Now 6 rows matched, but no data is available because everything is as it is. No data is updated in the source. Now it is not updating anything. No data got also inserted there. Am I clear? So now let us update few rows. Okay. Let us update few rows. Let me say Salman Khan. I remove this Khan and I would like to update. Okay. I wanted to update this and let me go back and see. So I have Salman here. I have a Salman Khan here. Only one row got updated. Let me go back and check. Save and start. Now 6 rows got mapped, but one row is being updated here. No data got inserted there. So you should be able to go and check it out. You have Salman here. So whatever you wanted to do, you can do. This is the best one to perform the incremental loading. Clear? So people may ask you one more thing. If I wanted to have a insert date as well here. So whenever you're inserting the data, I wanted to have one more, column called insert date. So you can say alter table. So alter table. What table you need to alter? Dim employee. Add column. Add column as dim employee. So sorry. Add column is insert date. Okay. So which is a date time. So I'm going to be giving you this. So this data I am not getting from the source because whenever you're inserting, you supposed to have inserted date. Clear? So now what I need to do, I have to implement. I need to implement what is called as a inserted date. So that value I should be able to get. So lookup no match output, I have to bring it. I need to add one more column. So for that, I'm going to be using derived column transformation. So you need to have no match output has to come here. And I create one more control C. And I say here, add as a new column. This is a new column. Here I can have date and time functions. I can have date, get date. Okay. So with the help of that, I'm going to be getting this. Now I can just simply go here and you double click on this. This got one more column. The column is called inserted date. Inserted date is not coming from the source. It is derived in between. So lookup no match data comes here. Then the next column will got added. Now you should be able to perform incremental loading Let me delete all the data from here. Okay, let me delete all the data. I have 6 rows there. I don't have anything, but you have extra column called insert date. You should be able to save and execute it. Clear? 6 rows got inserted. Now you stop and go back and execute it. So this is the time in which this row got inserted. Okay. So tomorrow when you're updating, I would like to update this insert date value also. For example, you are updating, let me update Salman Khan to say Abhi. I would like to update this name. So when I'm updating, you should be able to see this, but whenever it is being updated, this value also should be updated. Let me say copy, and this is the value currently we are having it. So 0854 blah blah blah, but I'm trying to update. What will happen? The data is being updated, not the time. One row is being updated, but the time is as it is, right? So if you go there and check, it is correctly, it is updated properly. But if you see that date and time, did not change. Clear? If you wanted to change this time also, then you need to write the update command. So what is update command we had? We had update command here. So we need to include, so insert date. Okay. So this you can put get date. So this data you need not get anywhere. You should be able to simply go and put this column, and automatically this data will get updated, right? Insert a date, you can take it, and you should be able to simply go there and try to go, and you try to give whatever you would like to give. Okay. So done. Now you save and you go back, and if you're updating something here, so now Abhi has become, say, Salman. All right. Now you go back and try to execute it. So you had Salman here, you had Abhi. This time has to change. Still you have the same time, right? Let me just go back and save. Simply start. Right? One row got updated. You see the time now. The insert update time is something else. Control copy. Now you see the values. Okay. Now it is 41 and 40, 54 it's got inserted. Now this time it's got updated. You can have insert, you can rename this insert update date. Okay. So you can have like this whenever you're inserting the data or updating the data, when it is got updated, that you wanted to have something like this. Okay. Sometimes you may have, this is my table, and let me show you one more thing. Okay. So let me drop this table. First, drop table employee, Control Z. So I create this table. Before creating table, I would like to have a tax column. Tax is, let us say, integer, and I'll say not null column. This is my tax column. I have it. So create this table with the tax, and I would like to have a tax. These guys have to pay 12%, say 15%. Now this guy is 27%, like that. I'm going to be adding some data here, 22%, right, 33%, like that. They have different tax these people have to pay. Now let me insert this data. Clear? So this is my table. I'm having employee ID, name, salary, tax, but unfortunately, whatever be the tax here, the same tax has to be there. Let me create one more table. Control C, and Control V. This is a dim employee table. Now I'm dropping this table before I create. Okay. So dropping this table and I create one more table and a tags, and let me create one the insert comma update date. I'm modifying this as well. Say date time, and which is also not null. Clear? So let me create this one more dim employee table. So number of columns are not matching now, right? So because insert update things are not available, then tags, you have to modify this package. So you have to go and see, I'm getting now tags also. Now when you come here, so you're taking employee ID and tax is there. Everything is perfectly fine. You have extra column. This is perfectly fine. Now let me go back here. Let me rename this as, sorry, let me rename this column as this, or you can keep the same column. Let me go back here and simply go and see, nothing is mapped. So this tax you have to map it, and this column you need to map it, because whenever you add new column in the source, many people will not see it here. If you get any new column added later, so you need to compulsorily come to the destination and click on the mappings. By default, those are not properly mapped. So remember this point, it will be like this. Okay, if you change anything, automatically this will get ignored. You don't get any data. You're thinking that I have done in the source, all modification done in the source, automatically data goes to the destination. No, you will get a blank values, or the package will fail. So you need to compulsorily check and come here. Okay, now this is perfectly fine. Now you go there. Here when you go to the columns, the remaining columns also you should map it, right? Because only 3 columns you map it. Tax and a tax also you have to map it. So the tax you need to map it here. So and you have to update. If the tomorrow tax gets updated, so you need to use the tax column as well. That is also very, very important. Okay, so you need to write that one as well. Otherwise, you will have an issues and everything here. Okay, so you need to update lot of things here. Now it is giving you lot of issues. Okay, now it is very, very important that you have to modify all of them once again. You have to take no match data. I have to get it here, and I wanted to take and update this command, right? So what are the things I have to update? So I need to go, and you have to use the columns. Tax and tax also should match. Okay, all of them are matching. Now you simply go, you try to give this, and you write your statement. Okay, so what is the statement you're going to be writing here? So this one, and before that you would like to say tax as well is equivalent to question mark, put this. Okay, now the numbers will change. It is 0, it is 1, it is 2. Okay, now it will become 3. Now total you have name, salary, tax, and this one, this is we are not going to be updating. Now here the column name is changed. It is not this one, this is the column name. Clear? So you take the complete things. Now you copy this, you go and try to go here. Now you try to update this, click on OK. Now done. Still it is telling me parameters are not bound. Okay, parameters are not bound. I copied, I have to bound this. What is one is the 0 is the name, then you have a salary, then you have a tax, the last one is what? Employee ID. Clear? You need to map like this. Now everything is perfectly fine. Since you have added one column, lot of things you need to change it. So people think that if I add one column, everything will work automatically. No. So first you ensure you got the column or not, you got it. Second one, you go here, you need not change anything. Fine. Third one, you need to come here. Here did not change anything, only I have modified. If you don't modify also, that is fine. Then the next one you need to go, and you have to go here, and it was ignore, that you have to give. And this was also ignore, that I had to give here. So this is 1. Now you go and add the connection as the next column as well. Okay. So insert date is not required. The tax part you need to add it properly. Okay. So that is also fine. Then you need to update this statement as well. So lot of places you have to do the work, and parameter mapping also will change. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now everything is proper. Now you save and you try to execute it. Now you'll come to know you don't have any data here, right? I remove this. I don't have any data in the destination table. Let me start executing that. So 3 rows got inserted. Now you go up and execute. Now you should be able to get 12, 15, 27. The same tax is available here. Clear? Now let me delete the data, and the customer is changing the requirement. What is the requirement is changing? Is telling us, so whatever be the tax we have it here, so this you should not take it. You have to get only one tax, that is a standard tax, that is a tax of 18%, a default value of 18. So whatever be the tax that we have it here, that should not come to here, because whatever be the tax, forget about it. So we have to maintain only one tax for all employees, that is a default value 18% of the tax they need to pay. That is what is this rule has come. So again you need to modify the package, right? So how to modify the package? Irrespective of this value, I have to provide one default value to the tax. So you need not have the data coming from the source. You have to create a default value is 18. 18 is not here. It is not coming from source. What should I do? If you wanted to get a default value and you don't need the source value, then you simply ignore this. I don't need this text column at all. You can simply take it, remove this out. Whatever be the value you have it, whether you have it or not, I don't need this. You can remove that. But definitely, I would like to have a text column here, that you should be able to have it come this side and create one more column called tax and add as a new column. You say 18%. So this is the column we have created in between in the derived column. So that is going to come here. Okay, that is going to be coming here. So derived column, you have a tax. Clear? So derived column from you have a tax. The tax you're going to be putting it here. Clear, guys? So this is what you need to understand. So here you don't have any change. Now, if you're getting a default value, then this also we should not match. This and tax, this tax always will not match. You need to remove this. Why? Because whatever be the tax that we have, this column itself is not there now. Even though you have the tax column, these values are something different. And always you have to get the 18 only here. So 12 and 18 always is unmatched. So when you have a default values, you're getting it here. So you should not compare those values here. So you have to leave and check the remaining columns only. So what are the things we need to check it? So only if you have a tax column here, tax column we are not verifying, because tax is 12 and 16 and 14 here, something like this. But you have a tax column here, tax column is always 18. Whatever be the source you have, it is always 18, right? If you're mapping this row along with the tax row, so along with the tax, if you're verifying, it is always unmatched, because 12 and 12 is always unmatched. So you should not have any default values. If you have a default values, those you should not map it here. You cannot say tax equivalent to tax. Otherwise, you need to map it. If the same data is going to go here, you have to map it here. Any default values when you have it here, that you should not map it, because whatever be the value doesn't matter. Here you need to send 18. Clear? So when you have like this, when you try to compare complete row with this, it is always it is unmatched rate. Even though nothing is changed here, it is unmatched. Why? Because it is 12. We already have 18. Clear? When you have a default values, that columns you should not change it. Okay. And these default values also should not be there in the updates. Okay, you should not say tax equals to update. Why? Because always it is 18 only. So you should not update anything. Whatever be the data that you have it here, that you should not update. It is always 18. Clear? Even though tomorrow it is modifying as 14, it is still 18 only. So all the default values should not get updated. So you need to remove all these things intelligently. Clear? So you go and first don't include the tax and come here, and you have to go and rewrite your control C and control V. You have to remove the tax. Okay, now we have 0, 1 and 2 and control C and control V. You go back, you should be able to write 0, 1. It is employed, not the tax. 0, 1, 2, right? So this is 0 name, 1 salary, 2 employee ID. This is properly you have to map it. Now it is gone. Clear? Now you say you should be able to get 18% as at a new column. The tax I'm going to be getting here, save and start. It is a simple one, but to implement that, you have to understand lot many things and lot many changes that you have to do it. Now you see whatever be the tax there, forget about it. You are going to be getting default value as 18. So where can we give default values in SSIS packages in the derived tables? Clear? So tomorrow you wanted to perform something. I wanted to know this is a salary and this is a tax and what is a taxable amount. So that I wanted to have it. So this into this divided by 100 that you can write in the derived column and you should be able to perform the operation like this. Clear? If you wanted to create a taxable amount, okay, I would like to create. Now this is a tax 18%, which is a tax amount. So tax amount is whatever be the salary into divided by 18 by 100. So this is the formula. So this is the 18% of the salary they are going to be taking it, and whatever be the amount that you're going to be getting, this is the tax amount. Okay, to store that I have to create one. So tax amount. So tax amount is, it is a numeric. So I have to give numeric. Now created. Now you see one more table is created, tax amount. One more column is created, tax amount. Now this one you should be able to have it here. Okay. So taxable is available here. So on the basis of salary, it is going to be created. So whenever you change something here also, you should be able to create and update this as well. So this needs to be modified as like this. So now you don't have tax, you have a tax amount. Tax amount, how? It is salary. The same thing you can write expression here. Salary into 18 by 100. Okay, so this is the formula that you should be able to give. So this side, if you wanted to have, you can have as a taxable amount. This is expression that you can give. It is a 0 and 1, it is 2. So this is the one you should be able to copy and go this side, and you should be able to write this. A lot of things. So there we are using a derived table, the same derived column we are using, same expression we're going to be having like this. You have, whenever you get some issues, it is fine now. There is no issue. Now try to delete all the data from the table. Now try to see the taxable amount also, whether you're able to get the taxable amount or not. This is my source and these are my destinations. Let me execute and try to do all these things. Clear? So I don't have any updations, but let me simply go there and verify. and this is the taxable amount this person has to make payment, and this is one, this is not available in the source. And tomorrow if you update something automatically, if the salary got increased, so automatically the tax also has to be updated, right? Now let us update his salary to something else. So let me simply go and update his salary to 2,500 for the employee number one. Okay, now let me go back and check it out. Is having 20 and 12, so this is going to change, this is not change, this value will change, right? Let me go back and try to execute. So now you go back and verify. Now you see it was 180. Now this guy is still is paying 180. How come it is not able to get it? So this salary means is reading this salary only. This table salary is reading, right? So that is the issue. So when you say dim employee, he is reading his salary. Okay. If that is the case, what we need to do? We need to either implement this derived column also this and take that column and try to update it here. Or you can look for any other opportunity. Okay. So that we can implement here and try to update this salary. It is not being updated properly. Clear? Or you can write one more OLEDB command, try to implement, or you can try to implement update statement here because it is getting his salary only. Whatever be the salary that is taken. So you need to update after writing the data. So let me go there. As of now, we are getting we can do something like this. Let us verify. Okay. Whatever be the salary that you are getting it, where is that? Yeah, whatever be the salary that you are getting it, put the question mark into 100. Now it is 0 1 2 3. Okay, let me take this because all of them you need to verify before working this. Copy and go back and remove this and put this and column mapping. You have still 3 only. Let me delete, drag and drop OLEDB command and take no match, right? Not the match. So you go there and you verify and you try to update. So whatever the salary that you're getting, so 0. Oh, okay. Let us. This is salary only 2, right? Yeah, I cannot give you like that. That is an issue. So we cannot update here. So what we can do, we simply remove this expression, which is useless now because anyhow it is not working. So it is 0 and 1 and 2. Let me have as it is. Get the data here first. Okay. Get the data here first. And you have to map them, right? So simply go here and 0 is the name, not employee ID. Second one is the salary. The third one is this. Let us, get the data here. Let me say you go there and update. Now is salary 2. That is not, this one. Let me say 3,000. I'm updating. Okay. The salary will come here first. The salary is going to come here. After getting the salary, I would like to update the only salary part here. Okay, because there I'm not able to update. Simply you go there, go to this one. I wanted to write a command here. So I would like to update dim employee set is tax amount, right? Tax amount is equivalent to whatever be the salary in the table already into 18 by 100. Okay, so this is the command I should be able to give for this fellow. So okay, whatever be the salary as of now in the table, that will get updated.
This
We
is gonna
can give
update
like
all the
this.
rows, right?
Yeah, it is going to be updating all the data because we are not able to do it. Otherwise, you can use derived or you can write some expression. But as of now, I would like to just keep it there and show you. So lot of things, lot of changes you can do it. You can get the best logic and try to implement it. It is going to be giving me some error. What is the error? If you get any error, you can say invalid column name tax amount. Tax amount we don't have in this. We have the tax amount, right? TAXAM. Okay, the spelling is wrong. I have to take the complete spelling as this. So this is the column name I supposed to give it there. It is simply go and had given wrong spelling. Clear? So let me go and verify. And you see, whenever you're updating something, it is going to be updating all the data. You should be able to get the perfect data in this. Clear? So you can have a couple of options. One of the best logic you got to implement. Now it is 3000. Let me have this to 4000 or 5000 and let us see what it is going to be doing. Let me have this as 7000. Okay. Now try to execute this. One row got updated. The same row would have been updated. Not only that row, remaining the data also will get updated. Let me simply go and verify it was 540. Nowadays, this much. Clear? So now in this, there is one more issue that you need to identify. What is that issue? When you go to data flow task, you see, please mute guys, okay? Please mute. If you go to data flow task, you have OLEDB command. Okay, OLEDB command is very, very slow. I told you this already. OLEDB is going to be performing row by row operations. When you're going to perform row by row operations, so when you have millions of data is already updated in the source, now automatically this will take a lot of time for the updations. So what Microsoft says, what SSIS says, don't use OLEDB command at all. If you're using OLEDB command, if you have a lot of data to be updated, it will take a lot of time. So I was, dealing with one mainframe database. It was having millions of rows are getting updated every month or every quarter. We're running the package not daily, every quarterly. We are getting a 20 million data, 30 million data is being updated. Another 20, 30 million data is being inserted. Clear? So inserts are 20 million, 30 million. Again, you have updates another 20, 30 million. It was doing quite faster. This was taking 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours because row by row, row by row, row by row, it is being updated. So instead of OLEDB command, we have to get the data into somewhere and try to use execute SQL task. Instead of updating data here, what I'm trying to do, I wanted to update the data with the execute SQL task. That's what I'm planning to do. Clear? But how to implement execute SQL task there? I don't have execute SQL task here, right? But what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to delete this. Whatever be the data got updated, that I'm going to be storing into one more table. That is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be updating directly here. So whatever be the no match data, so that I'm going to be getting here, that I wanted to create one table. This table is called as a staging, or you can say temporary table. You can give some name, stage, STG, EMP, STG, underscore emp table. This is a temporary table I'm going to be creating. Now click on OK. So all the updated data, I'm going to be dumping into one more table. I am not going to be updating directly. This is what is called a temporary table, or you can say stage employee table. Okay. So this is where I'm dumping. So this is actually employee table. Now, if I insert the data, let us understand this. If I go and try to modify some row, for example, now you have these 3 rows, right? Now what I wanted to do, I would like to update his name to Salman Khan. Let me go back and let me update his name to Salman Khan. So if I'm updating, it is not going to update because I did not do any kind of an update. The updated row will be available in this table. The table is called as stage employee table. I have created one more table called select star from stg underscore employee. Clear? So this table you should be able to see it now. stg employee, you don't have any data in this as of now. Now let me execute this package. Okay, so whatever be the row you have updated, that row is available in this table. In which table? In this table is available. It is a Salman Khan, but actual data did not get updated. Actual data is a Salman only. Now using this table data, I wanted to update this table. So for that, what I'm trying to do, I am trying to go to execute SQL task. Let me delete whatever I have it. I simply go drag and drop execute SQL task. Here, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do a small thing here. So what I'm trying to do, select star from okay, select star from this table as a D, join this table. Can I join 2 tables? Why not? As some source. If you wanted to join, you should have a common column. What is the common column in this? Employee ID. What is the common column in this? Employee ID. I can say d dot employee ID is equivalent to source dot employee ID, s dot employee ID. So when you join both of them, these are the data. This is my destination table. This is my updated record. When you say join, this is inner join. Inner join always gets the matching data. So this row and this row will get matched. That's it, nothing else. Okay, you're able to get this row and this row is going to be matched. So this is what is called a destination D, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 destination, and this is destination. This is source. So now what I'm trying to do, I say update. What I would like to update, update D. This is the syntax. Update D. Update D means destination. Set D dot name is to be updated with s dot name, comma d dot salary has to be updated for s dot salary. So this is how you can write and remove this star. Clear? So when you have 2 tables using join, how do you update it? So whatever be the name you have, this is s dot name. S dot name will become d dot name. This data is going to be overwritten in this column. Whatever be the salary, that it is going to be coming here. And I have to, update this tax amount also, right? So I can say d dot taxable amount. Okay. So you have a tax amount as well, right? So d dot taxable amount is always s dot, do we have a tax here? S dot salary into, you can say 18 So all this is a logic divided by 100. Clear? So whatever be the salary that you have it here, that will be overwritten here. So if you're getting 4,000, 4,000 will come. If you have a Salman Khan here, Salman Khan is going to be updated. Then this amount also should get updated here, plus this updated date. So whatever be the date I have it here, so that also I wanted to update. So here I need to say get the date. All of them you have to modify here, and this is the syntax I should be able to copy, and no question marks here. Simply you should be able to go and copy and paste it and click on OK. Click on OK. Now after doing everything, you have to remember truncate what? Truncate table, this staging, whatever be the data that you have it in the table, that you need to truncate, because tomorrow you will get new rows, right? Because every time this row need to be deleted. So this table deleted with the data. Clear? All the data you have to delete it. So you take the complete command, copy this command, and I forgot to add a truncate. Let me go and delete this, and you say paste. Clear? So every time when you're doing, you're not updating with the OLEDB command. Instead of that, you're putting the data into one more temporary table, and using the temporary table, you're writing, destination table and joining the destination table with the stage table. Then you're, updating all the D dot columns with your source columns. Clear? And after that, you're deleting all the data from the staging. So this is how we're going to be working. Now you should be able to, execute. Now this is going to be working perfectly fine here. If it is working fine here, the same thing you can also, it should work there. Now I did not execute the package, but now you can see Salman Khan here. Salman Khan here, you don't have any data. Now let us update the complete thing. Let me have two more rows loaded. Now let me as his salary to 9,000. Clear? And a name also to something else here. So now you go back and try to execute this package. So all the things have to be updated, and you got two rows got updated, two rows got deleted. Now you go back and you see the data in both tables. Now you see. Clear? So you got the Trump and Trump, John 9,000, 9,018%. It is a 1620. Earlier it was something else. So everything is being modified here. So I was not using OLEDB command transformation, which is very, very slow. We were updating a 20 million data. It was taking almost 40 to 50 minutes. When I replaced a temp table, I kept the temp table here, and plus we kept a executes equal task, which is going to be performing in less than 10 minutes, less than 7 minutes. We were updating approximately some 15 to 20 million data, but earlier it was taking more than 40 minutes to 1 hour. So if you keep OLEDB command transformation, OLEDB command is very, very slow. When you have large amount of data coming from the source systems, it is going to be performing row by row operations. So hence not to use OLEDB command. So executes equal task is very, very faster, which is updating at a stretch 1,000 rows, 2,000 rows, batch of rows. Clear? Which is very, very faster. The package which was taking 40 minutes earlier, it is taking now only less than 7 to 9 minutes. Clear? So that is the growth that you can see. This is one more performance improvement technique. People would ask you, if it is taking a lot of time, what all you do? So this is the one thing that you can tell them. Clear? Use executes equal task in case of performing incremental loading. This is how your architect told you to implement in your company. So many people are simply using OLEDB commands. You will get a lot of issues there. Performance issues, you will get a lot of things. Clear? So we had learned with lookup, with OLEDB command, lookup with default values, lookup with update commands, and creating a temporary table and joining the data and modifying the data. People would ask you how to join two tables and update the data. So this is the command. Okay, what is the command? We discussed about the same command you should be able to use. But remember, you should not use the update, dim employee. You need to use the alias. Clear? If you say update dim employee, then your syntax is gone. Many people will be using the destination table name. No, alias. So alias, if you give ABC, now you need to say ABC. Clear? So that's what you need to give. If you give ABC here, you need to say ABC.name, ABC.name, ABC.name. So wherever ABC, you need to go like that.
Why are you
Am I
doing
clear, guys?
truncate, Bhaskar here, sir? Why
Because
are you
after that, see, this is the data got updated now, right? But tomorrow you will get some more data will get updated. Only those rows you would like to capture it. Correct? So today this data is being modified. So for example, this data is being modified. You will be able to get the complete data here. Clear? Now out of this row, you will be able to get this row will be available here. Clear? So this data I am not dumping in, I am not putting into anywhere. I am putting into a stage table, right? Stage employee. This data will be here. Now using this, I am updating. Tomorrow, if I run the package, this guy name and salary would have been modified. Okay. Now, if I get tomorrow, what happens? The same data is going to come here. And now, what is the no match data? The no match data is this row. This row will be now coming. So you have old row and you have new row also. Why do you need old row? That already you have updated. You need to delete this row from the staging table. Am I clear? So you need to get the new row and keep it here. Once everything is done, you also delete this row. Are you clear, Ravina?
Yeah.
Clear? So when you're updating, you're deleting. So that is the purpose of truncating the table. So inside you need to have, and this is what is the trickiest part. Many people do not know how to join two tables and update. So before joining, you just do like this, select star. You will come to know. It is simply as simple as this. You join the tables like this. Since I don't have any data, so I have say D. Okay. Since I don't have any data, I'm not able to get anything. You remove the star and remove the star and add these two statements extra. That's it. Then it will become joining the two tables and update. So this is the new syntax. So Oracle SQL Server, everywhere it works. How to update the data by joining a table. Clear? So this is the syntax. Now you truncate. Clear, guys? So this is performance wise very good one. People would ask you in the interviews compulsorily, what are the logics you have implemented, and tell me from the starting to end, step by step, what is the table name you have taken, and if you have some kind of a default values, how do you do that? If you have to create some kind of expressions, and which transformation you're going to be using, so derived column, and how do you implement default values in the SSIS packages. You need to tell them that we're going to be using a default values with the derived columns. All these things you can tell them clearly. So this is the best one you can explain from starting to end.
This will make sense with practice, right? I have not installed the.
Yeah, install it today and practice them without fail. Okay. You talk to my team 9642143942. Talk to them today and ping them in the WhatsApp. This is the WhatsApp number. They will be able to help you. Yeah. Any other questions?
So which will give you better performance, a full load or an incremental load? Because in incremental load, we are using a lot of lookup operations, other operations, but full load will be just dumping the data. So which will give us a better performance?
Now you tell me, you have 1,000 columns and millions of data. Okay, deleting the thousands of columns and inserting the same data again. Deleting will take a lot of time, and inserting same
Comparing, will it
1,000
not
columns
take?
and 1,000 rows.
Comparing, will it not take? Lookup will not take. We are using two lookups inside this, so will it not take so much? Means some good amount of time.
Even comparing is something different, and reading and writing and going to the table, and see, here we are comparing. But if you delete and insert, delete is writing operation, the hardware has to do some activity there, right? So writing and reading, deleting the data, 1 million data is deleting from the hard disk, and the matching in the, if you do any kind of a matching, the hard disk is not going to do anything. A RAM or the processor is going to be doing something. When you say delete, then do the full loading, hardware also should be there. The writer has to delete all the data from your hardware first. Clear? Then you're going to be comparing and loading. So reading, writing is double tripled there, IO is more. Now here simply we're
Okay.
comparing in the processing. We are not giving any work to the hardware. So hard disk is not going to do anything in this case, right? If you
Okay,
have
got it.
10 rows, 20 rows, it makes sense. 10 rows, 20 rows, full loading makes sense. But even though you have 10 rows, 20 rows, if you're trying to delete the data, if the dimension table is linked to one more dimension table, or dimension table is linked to one more fact table, if you have a primary keys and a foreign keys, you cannot delete the data first. Try to understand. If you try to perform full loading, if there is a primary key and foreign key between two tables, and one table data you're trying to delete it, then it will say foreign key error. You cannot delete the data. So you're stuck there, right? So you may be having the relationships to the tables, and existing data, you cannot delete it. So full loading may not be possible in many cases, because even though you have 10 rows, we can do the full loading. The problem is that you have a primary key, foreign key links as well. If you're trying to delete the data from the primary key table, you will get a lot of issues. So that is also sometimes may not be suitable. Clear? Even though you have less data, the full loading is the better. But when you have millions of data, so this is a recommended. You don't have any other option. Yeah.
Can we not do it directly using SQL, joining, comparing? After comparing, maybe after a lookup, one lookup, we can take it in two different tables and directly do the SQL using SQL also the same, right?
Yeah, you can also use SQL, but you tell me, people who should know good SQL, then only they can do it, right? So if you wanted to write SQL command, you need to write a stored procedure. Clear? So here you did not write much of coding, only typing. One is nothing. This very simple thing, 1 or 2 lines you have added here, and there is one line you have added, only these small expressions, and you're able to dump the data. Now, people who are not good in SQL, they will be feel uncomfortable to modify the stored procedures. Clear? If you have 3 columns, it is like that. If you have thousands of columns and you try to write like this code, people will go mad. If you write this code, if you have at least 300 columns, you keep writing the code, you will come to know. If
Okay,
you write
got it.
completely stored procedure, you will go mad. Clear? And at least some code, only some code you're writing, but not all the code. So implementing with the SQL Server code is perfectly fine. The problem is that SQL Server is not a ETL, so it is not faster first. The second one is that SQL Server is to store the data, to retrieve the data. It is not the pump the data from one place to another. That is when the issue, when you compare with the SQL store procedures, which are very slow compared to ETLs. ETLs are designed to load the data. SQL Server is there to simply store the data. It is not a ETL package, since coding is heavy, then which is slow compared to ETLs. Clear? Yeah.
So performance of SSIS is much better compared to that of SQL.
Anywhere, any specific tool is faster than the SQL tool, because SQL is not implemented for this. Otherwise, people will use SQL only. Why are we using SSIS? If the data is coming from Oracle to SQL Server, people will say write a stored procedure and try to load it. Why ETLs in between? Right? Yeah, you
Yes,
know the
got it.
coding, you can write that definitely. Yeah, definitely. End of the day, code you need to write much more. And writing code is very, very difficult for anybody. So minimize the coding. If you wanted to minimize the code, the better implement in the ETLs like this. It is very little coding we have written only here. But otherwise, nowhere we have written much more coding. So coding is less in ETL tools. Any tools, the coding is less. So must not use SQL. So I had seen one architect was implementing everything in SQL. Okay. And after some time, a few people have joined. Then for each and everything is saying, you go to that stored proc and modify, you go to this stored proc and modify. The people who newcomers, they're completely irritating. Not only that, even the architect resigns tomorrow. If the new guys come to the company, if you implement in the stored procedures, it will be very, very problem for the maintenance because coding is not so easy. So here, at least you can simply double click on this and see something and go something and do something. It is pretty much easy compared to implementing everything in the stored procs. But many people who are coming from the SQL background, for example, me, I love to create a stored procedures only. But if I give stored procs, definitely you will have a lot of issues for the maintenance purpose. Clear? Yeah. And it is slow also.
Sir, this is Srikant. This is not related to our session question. Actually, I'm trying to download the videos yesterday. I sent an email now. So can you please help me, sir? I'm not able to download those recorded videos. It is giving me